Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So glad to have everybody here. I'd say it's just a meeting about there's just what's happening. Whatever's happening. That's it already. The wondering, the feeling, the images, all of it. There's just no separation any way you slice it. And even saying that is this. So you can't escape it because there's only this. However it appears, so to say. It's just always this. And this isn't a thing. So nobody has this. You can substitute any word you like. If you don't like this, I was going to say you could use God, but a lot don't like that word. But it doesn't matter because it's still this. Words or no words. Still this. So free to share whatever's coming up. It's just this already. And if it feels to be shared, beautiful. So in that sense, seeking and not seeking is the same. They're both this. Laughing, complaining, not liking, resonating.
I guess I'm gonna say something because my mouth is moving. And I unmuted. So yeah, I guess when you said the word God, I thought of the today kind of theme. I've been to, or I watched at least 3 meetings. One was Kenneth, and one was Saunders meeting a couple days ago or yesterday, whenever. And thinking about like the one with Kenneth, he was talking about like the different, someone was bringing up that it seems like there's something that's just like witnessing when there's stuff happening that's not involved and doesn't mind. And that's like, to me, something that never, I tried to be the uninvolved witness. I tried to be separate from what's happening and watch from above or beyond or beside or whatever. Could never do it for like 6, 7 years. It's just not, I just can't do it. But, so somebody kind of, yeah, when they brought that up, it triggered that idea that I can't get outside. There's nothing to get outside of whatever's happening or thoughts or whatever to stand back in this experience. But so Kenneth said, oh yeah, there's, that's a whole story or whatever. And, there isn't something outside, whatever. But then I guess like with Saunders meeting, there was someone talking about like all from my point of view, me, and it's just like, it feels, now it kind of feels like acid being like or something. It's like I guess the idea of God usually comes as something that's outside, knowing, like something outside, it's not in it. But even if it were something in it that knows everything, still, like it's something that knows something else. And that's something like that doesn't click here. Like
Yeah, let's Lila, let's see what Sander has to say. Go ahead, Sander.
Well, this trying to be the so-called outside watcher, so to say. I mean, claiming that there is a seeing or having the idea that there is separation is already just simply this, right? So the so-called recognition of what is happening is equally uncontrollable as this. It's just what's happening. Even trying to be separate from this is already not true, and it may just simply happen. Trying to see it from another perspective or to step outside of this is this. So the so-called recognition of me and my thoughts is just basically this already. It's just this as recognition of my thoughts, so to say.
it seems seems frustrating though, because it couldn't be done here. It was never like, oh yeah, that's happening. Like it's like a futile, it's not something that achieves, that's done now. I mean, it just goes on looking for
Yeah, it's hard to do.
never finding, yeah.
It's hard to do something when there's no doer.
It seems people claim they do it. There's claiming, they're saying, it works for me. I did it. I'm really good at this now. I've been practicing for these many years and I can mostly stay outside of whatever.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful.
Oh,
Yes.
good for you.
Yeah, you want an award? I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah, Lila, I'm sorry, Sander. Yeah, that's called the me. I mean, the me is doing a lot of things that can't be done. And that's kind of the problem.
Takes credit for it.
Nothing can be done. It's just already whatever it is.
Exactly. The trying to do stuff is already this. Or the idea that it can be done or not is equally just this already.
The idea
There
that
is
this is torture.
Yeah, but that, Lila,
Oh,
that isn't yours. That this is torture isn't yours. It's
No.
this.
And I can't do it, is this.
Yes. Yeah.
I failed miserably.
And the frustration, the pulling your hair out.
Yeah.
It's this.
But equally, I can do it and I try to do it is equally just this. So the trying to become the outside observer is just simply what's happening. innocently, as thinking there is a possibility to do it, or a belief.
Yep.
And then maybe even a sensation that I managed to step outside this and see this. Well, that's it too.
And jealousy that there seem to be people with such good imaginations or such good imaginations out there that things seem to really appear, whatever it is.
Yeah, the jealousy is it too.
FOMO. Yeah.
Jealousy, right? Innocently. It's so innocent, jealousy. God, I wish I could sing like that person. I wish I was awakened as that person.
Yeah.
It's so innocent, the jealousy, and it's fully this too.
It's
But who-
just like Michael said it. It's no matter how you slice it. You can slice it in 10 different ways, 100 different ways. It's just this, including me saying this. I mean, there's nothing outside of this.
Or don't slice it.
Yeah,
Or don't.
yeah, beautiful.
And whose imagination is it anyway? I mean, there's
Yeah.
gotta be a lot of imagination to imagine that people are imagining such things, you know?
Yeah.
It's definitely better and worse.
So
It's
this,
all a big imagination. That's what everything is, but it just isn't, there isn't anybody there imagining it.
yes, exactly. And this so-called identification with the so-called observer is this too. So suddenly thinking it's me who is outside of this, or seeing my thoughts and being identified, so to say, is just another thought arising innocently.
Innocently.
And that there's someone identified, that there's a, even like a big self or whatever identified. Like, I mean, I guess, I don't know if it is totality, is identified. Everything is identified. Okay, thank you, guys.
Hey, Dan, it's nice to see you. I haven't seen your face for a while or heard you.
Oh, hey, yeah, nice to see you. Yeah, I lost my face for a while, but it's back.
Yeah, good. I love how
You've been reading too much of Douglas Harding.
It's good to see everybody.
Nice to see you, Dan.
Likewise.
and I love how you share. Don't know if you heard that part.
Oh, thank you. Good. I love how you share too.
It's just a story.
Yeah. That's all we got.
Yeah, I mean, saying it's a story is just another story, basically.
And
Saying
not
there's
even.
Yeah, saying there's only the story is a story. There's just no way out. There's basically just a story. There's no one in the story able to make it nice. But at the same time, thinking you can change the story or make it nicer is just a story. I mean, you can call it a story or just this, or like Michael said, God, or awareness, consciousness, all those beautiful words. But it's still just what it is. Just this, sitting in a meeting. Even calling it a meeting doesn't change this.
It's an apparent story being told by nobody for nobody. It's just seeming to happen. It's just this. It's this being this, and not even. There is no story being told. It's just an apparent story being told. There's nothing actually happening. Who's telling the story? Who's listening to the story?
Well, I've said
You know,
before,
I was just Oh, go ahead.
Who
Go
was
ahead.
talking? Oh, it seems like the story knows itself. I mean, I don't know if that's true. Like I just so immediate like that. There's nothing outside the story that knows it, or the thoughts, but it's, yeah.
Who would know that? Who would know that there's nothing outside the story?
Well, the story doesn't. Yeah.
I was just
It's-
going to say, and it's more of a curious question. In so many of the different teachings over time, the witness or the concept of the observer keeps coming up over and over and over again. And it's just a curious question of why do you think it just keeps coming up in many different traditions and many different teachings?
Yeah, because Harvey, it sounds, I mean, come on, it sounds logical. Oh, so I'm not the little ego. I'm this boundless awareness. That feels so much better.
Yeah, in one of the contemporary teachings, and I won't mention names, but the teacher says, well, it is dualistic. It's only like a partial step, but and then eventually the witness disappears. But when I hear it, it's like it's still perpetuating the the feeling that there's a me who's going to do it, no matter how you try to define it.
Yes, that's the compromising part. I mean, who is able
Yeah.
there for it to disappear?
Yeah.
But thinking that there's duality is already not two. I mean, that
Right.
it's already just this. Whatever is happening is already the case, so to say. So feeling separated or thinking that there's separation is already not separated from this. It's just what's happening, feeling separated. Thinking that there's duality or not is already not dual, so to say. It's already just this. This is it. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with believing that there's an observer or trying to be the observer. This may happen. Trying to observe and thinking you are that which is observing is just happening, so to say. As the claiming and the suggesting that it is. It's equally just what's happening, so to say, or what appears to happen. It's hard to tell when there's just this. I mean, we can say this is real, but who knows? There's no one able to step outside this to know if this is happening or not.
So we can use words like awareness or consciousness or God or just this. I mean, there's all those problems are problems with just this too. I mean, you know, we try to use whatever we could call, say me, say you, say Zoom meeting. We're using all of these words, but the thing is, nobody has ever known what any of this is, and that's the whole thing. So, you know, the words are always the best that can show up in the moment to say whatever is being said, but no one knows what that is, what it is. It
You,
doesn't
you,
can't be said. Yeah.
Dan, that's a good point because I think what happens is that different words people start to and this is kind of a story, but they give power to the word. And so the word, they'll attach themselves or identify, it appears like identification with a particular word, like even the word this, if you could get sort of attached to that, but it could be blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could call this God, you can call this Allah, you can call this Krishna or Shiva. You know, there's, you know, the man praying at the mosque or the church or not praying at all. It's just all equally this. I mean, there's really nothing else to it. You know, it's just perfect, just how it may show itself. You know, so picking apart words or, you know, it's just all this. There's perfect, just how it is.
Yeah, even the parsing of words or arguing of words is this equally.
Me and Sander were talking about the other day about the bank robber, the guy who robbed the bank. You know, somebody robbing a bank is just as equally this as somebody not robbing a bank or us talking on Zoom. It's just all this. You know,
And there is no this.
and not even this. You know,
So it's just languaging in a way, like Don is saying. It's just labeling, languaging.
There's such a trying to grasp onto any word happening automatically, like does Michael just saying, and there's no this, it's like, whew, okay. I didn't even realize it was hanging on until, yeah. Like the
Yeah,
word, the
yeah.
awareness goes like here that it's a brain thing then still. It's just automatically trying to go to fit in something, but yeah.
Yeah, there seems to be a need to land somewhere to know what this is. Like to have a certain type of knowing because, yeah, it gives stability. If I know what this is, then maybe I can use it to have a better life or to be complete or feel more whole. I mean, there's just simply nowhere to land as there's no one in this to land somewhere. There's no location.
and a you feeling content because they feel that they've understood this is just as much what is as somebody who feels discontent or somebody addicted to drugs or somebody who has, you know, whatever other problem may arise. It's just all simply equally this.
Every story is simply equally this.
It's not. Go ahead.
Well, there's nothing to learn here. I mean, there's nothing to talk about. And the idea that there is something to talk about is just also simply what is. You know, there's nothing to it.
So it seems like there's an idea here that when, and not even, it's seems to be going on behind that. Once, like if somehow it's understood, then the seeking will just stop. That'll be it. That'll be done. Where the experience is anything that seems to be understood, there's a next. For now, so, and that seems better when there's no next, but apparently everything's equal.
Yeah, I mean, what is the whole thing with seeking? Seeking is just seeking for car keys, seeking for your cat. It's just what's happening, so to say, and the seeking may just simply stop. There's nothing wrong with seeking. I don't get why this whole seeking thing seems to be a problem. It's equally like feeling like a me or not. It's just what's happening. Seeking, feeling like a me, having a bad day, not having a bad day, feeling happy, not feeling happy, having a problem with not feeling happy, having a problem with seeking, thinking it's not good, thinking it's good, thinking it needs to stop. It's all just simply this. There's no way out. Does this already know you in this, doing this?
It's all this, but it's all this, but it's all this, but it's not necessarily the same. That the this is not the same.
Yeah.
But who's there to also judge what's the same, what's not the same, what's this, what's that? That's a cat, that's a dog.
No one.
It's
There'd be no one to judge that, but that would imply that there's a difference. This knows. This knows the difference.
Yeah, there's no judger, but there may be judging, you know, there may be judging, there may be likes, there may be preferences. It's just innocently happening. Judging, having preferences to go to a meeting instead of watching Netflix, just simply what's happened. And this may change. Liking to go to a meeting with Michael and on a Wednesday night may just suddenly drop. I mean, there's no judger. There's no liker. There's just liking, not liking.
Yeah, I don't want to hog all this whole meeting. I'm going to be angry at myself later. But, but what I'm thinking is, like when Sander was saying that they're seeking like for your car keys or seeking for this, it seems the difference is that when you find your car keys, you don't immediately go, now where's my whatever else? Like if that's the only thing that's happening, like where this type of seeking is like different, probably because there's nothing to find. There's no car keys, there's no object, there's nothing. And so it just doesn't stop. I don't know. Seems
Lila,
different in my mind.
I have a question. So what is seeking?
To me, the feeling of agitation that seems to cause or is correlated with looking, but it doesn't even have to, it can even be it's almost like an addiction, like can be scrolling on my phone, like a feeling that's compelled by this agitation, but it's not really getting anywhere. It's like an addiction kind of.
Well, addiction and agitation are this perfectly, so to say.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be spiritual. It's a lot of time spent on my phone. So
But that's it already.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, as is claiming that there are different types of seekings. You know, this seeking, well, the seeking for car keys is not really a problem, but the seeking
Yeah.
for this, that's a
Yeah,
really big problem.
it's a problem when you can't find your car keys.
It's so innocent, you know, that it just giving values and judging is just what's happening innocently. Yeah, I can see the car keys is not a problem, but this, oh my God, you know, I want it to stop.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
It's not about seeking or not seeking, basically.
Hmm.
There's just simply, yeah, what's happening, so to say. And thinking one is wrong and the other not is also equally just what's happening. And this may change. Like you said, if you are not able to find your car keys, it suddenly can be a big problem. More than the so-called seeking for this.
True. Yeah, true. Your home is suddenly flooded or on fire and you have to run out, you're not going to be worried about.
I mean,
The
the
meter
very
isn't up yet.
the very seeking for car keys or the seeking for freedom is this already.
Again, they're this already, but I'm still going to say they're not the same. Seeking for your car keys, seeking for freedom is this. It's all this, but they're not necessarily the same.
Yeah, but thinking that they're the same or that they're not the same, it's just equally this. I mean,
Yeah.
me could sit here and say there's no difference, and you could sit there and say there is a difference, and it's just equally this. There's nothing wrong with either one, and there's nothing right with either one as well. It's just this, and not even. Just is what it is.
Yeah, and then maybe you're not agreeing with it. Well, that's it too. Like, well, yeah, maybe not. Well, that's it too. Yes. Exactly. Saying it's different or feeling it's different. I feel it's different or not is this. You can say it's not different, but I feel it's different is equally just this.
Yeah, no matter how you slice it,
Or dice it.
it's still this.
It's sort of funny, all these different appearances of this, just sitting here like trying to contemplate this, man, is there any way that we could put this to where it's not just this? And that's also just this, it's just such a silly thing.
Well, it can show up as anything. It can show up as a silly thing. It can show up as the most serious thing you've ever seen, like hair on fire, get out of my fucking way. This is the most important thing, this spiritual awakening. It can feel like that.
Yeah.
There's no way to everything is it already. You know, Sander and I did a blog today, a joint blog about the mind. You know, the mind gets so much flack. You know, if I can just be free of my thoughts, if I can just be free of my mind.
But that's also this.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. We can say it's all the mind or it's all this. It doesn't matter. That's just the mind.
Well, it's just the mind that wants to be free of the mind, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. And then maybe even a thought, well, I'm free of the mind. I finally made it. Well, that's it's equally the mind, so to say.
Right. So the idea that I'm not free has the idea if I could just be free of my unfreedom. You know, it's the same,
Yeah.
the same dog chasing its tail. And then we can say, well, so what's wrong with that? That's this, which, as we have been saying, but in another way, it is wrong. I mean, we could say, what's wrong with being wrong? What's wrong with wrongness, right? But it's also wrong, you know. I mean, in a way, you could say is to be unfree is not fun, you know. This is wrong in that sense, and to be, or even to say, but yeah, separation. What's wrong with separation? Well, separation is wrongness by it, you know. It's just the idea of it's of wrong, the feeling of wrong, the whatever experience of wrong, and that is wrong in a way. It's wrong, whatever that is. We don't know, but it's this thing that keeps the dog spinning around.
I don't
Well-
remember which speaker it was, but he said the metaphor of a fish trying to find the ocean,
Mm-hmm.
trying to find freedom.
Something that can never be found
Hmm.
because it's never been gone, right? It's
Well,
only this.
I mean, we can say the very seeking is the freedom.
Yeah.
So there is,
Go ahead.
so there is just the dog chasing its tail. There's no you to stop it.
Yeah, what I was kind of trying to say, and I don't know if I did really, but that we can call that freedom or we can call it bondage. We can call
Yeah.
it a problem or we can call it freedom, and just that, you know, and
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
yeah.
I want to throw a question out, kind of playing devil's advocate, because actually I was planning on taking the video of this into my class tomorrow because it fits into something I'm doing. So here's the question. For example, we use, or a more used phrase, "it is what it is," which is a very commonly used phrase. And I can foresee students saying, yeah, it is what it is, including seeking everything. It's just what you're saying, it's this. So the question that I think they're going to ask is, what is the qualitative difference in the lives of the people in this group who, because they're saying it is what it is, and we are saying it is what it is. So why are we on what is being accomplished here? And I'm just playing devil's advocate, but I'm just kind of curious as to a response, or what kind of response you might give to students.
Well,
Well-
there is nothing happening here.
Yeah, there's nothing
Yes.
to be, there's no something
Accomplished.
to be accomplished
No,
already.
it's not about something. I mean, this is not for something. There's nothing to accomplish. The very idea that this needs to lead to something is this already. The idea that it's about something is this, equally just this. So wondering where is this going is this already. So why is this?
And there's no teaching this, there's no learning this, not a psychology.
So the question that sometimes I'll hear because I'm teaching different classes is they'll say, well then, okay, so if there's nothing to accomplish and nothing being taught, that's what they'll say, then why are you all sitting here?
Well, there's already no one sitting here. There's just sitting. The very idea that there is a you doing this is this already. And maybe a sense that there is a free will, but the idea of free will or the belief of free will is already free. The idea that there is a choice to make is already not is choiceless.
And for me, I am here as a seeker, which is just this, is just this, but I'm specifically here as a seeker, as you have your students who are there to gain knowledge in philosophy, right? I'm here seeking knowledge and experience in, quote, the non-dual state or in non-duality, specifically because as I listen to more of these groups and participate in these groups and read and things, life, for me, there's less suffering in life, lot less suffering, more joy in life, more love in life, more kindness in life. So, and that's also just what it is. But that's what I'm saying is it's just what it is, but it includes anything you say what it is. It's not sterile. It includes everything.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, beautiful. What else? This is already everything. Nothing is excluded. Even thinking that it's not everything is already this, is already everything.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Even the yeah, but.
Is this too.
Yeah, but it's interesting, Harvey, the question that you ask, because I mean, in a way, we're looking at, okay, what relevance does this have, or how does it fit into a college philosophy class? And well, I mean, it's a good question. The college class is a kind of a game, and the basic rule of that's operating there is, I mean, there are rules there. One of them is that there is a difference, a qualitative difference between one life and another. And that also presumes that there are different lives. It assumes that, well, there's persons in this class and they each have a different life, and we can judge each one relative, we can compare them, or we can compare my life to how it was 5 minutes ago, or what it might be if it was some. So this is all part of the given sort of structure of the game of a, you know, a college class. And so, yeah, it's a good question to say, well, how does this fit in there? And yeah, I don't know. I think it would be good to have a whole class about that.
I think that I think Don made some good points because, and maybe for each of us, I'll put us in quotation marks there. I mean, I would even just from me, a qualitative, I'll call it difference, is there's a kind of serenity in whatever occurs, no matter what it may be, and that's just from here, because again, I'm trying to foresee the kinds of questions where students will just say, okay, so what? It is what it is. We say that all the time. One of them said to me the other day, when I got a traffic ticket and I went to court and the judge said guilty, well, my reaction, the student reaction was, well, it is what it is. And so their question could be, well, what are you saying that's really any different than what we're saying? It is what it is. You see?
So, Harvey, the very wondering what to say and what will happen tomorrow, is this already?
I know.
So asking and wondering how to respond to questions maybe, is this? It's
Mhm.
just what's happening spontaneously. How can I address this in my class tomorrow? And there will be reactions, how to deal with those reactions and what to say. All that is just innocently happening already. And anything might happen. You know, maybe the kids say, well, it's bullshit, or I don't see it like that. Well, that's it too.
And also the wanting to provide them with an answer.
Yes.
Yeah, I got that totally.
Yeah, I just feel like you're kind of making the point more for me, like the point that sticks out for me is that, you know, they're really, and it relates to what Don was saying too, but you know, both of you are articulating this idea that, well, there's some serenity out there that I could move toward, I could possibly get it. And getting, you know, it's telling the story about being a person in time that's missing some serenity and could get it, and maybe do things to get it, maybe get some knowledge that would help me get all of that, you know. And I think, I mean, it's interesting. Is there any serenity missing from this? I mean, that's the question, you know, no. So the game of, right, getting anything is, that's the game. And it's
And that's a good point. That's a good point, Dan, because the moment, if I was to say, or anybody says they're experiencing a qualitative difference, it kind of sets up a goal or go look for a process. And that's it too, you know.
Yeah.
but it's also interesting to go to, like, as I said, you know, before, well, okay, that does totally contradict the entire idea of a college class, or really the idea of all of these structures that we've made, you know, in the world. And, you know, and we say, well, okay, that doesn't necessarily make a problem, but it's interesting to see all this. Anyway, I see Nkosi has joined us. Welcome to Nkosi, we like to say. Oh,
Hello.
Hi,
Roy.
Kosi.
Hi.
It just innocently plays out questions and wondering what is this already? This is it. And there's already no one doing just this. How to put this in a certain way for somebody else, is this already? Wondering how we could make this more easy or understandable. And giving the idea that there is nothing or that there's something to get, is this. There's just no way out of what is happening. Because there's already no one in this, so to say. There's just this. You're wondering what to say in my class tomorrow is just spontaneously arising. As is the answers and the suggestions. As is the idea that there are better ways or worse ways to talk about this. I mean, there's not even something to talk about. The talking about this is this already. There's not separated from this. This is it. I mean, there's not even a thing called this, nor is there a no thing called this. And Cozy, you're smiling as usual. What's up?
Yeah, it's just what's happening. Yeah, everything is this. Talking, smiling, thinking, trying to figure out something, speculating, analyzing, not getting it on the way, about to get it. This just this. And there is nobody to do anything about this. There's really nothing to be done about what's happening. There may seem to be a journey. There may seem to be somebody who's going somewhere with what is being spoken right now. That's just what's happening. That's what's just seems to arise in this. There's nobody already who's doing anything, who's getting somewhere, who's losing anything, and there's nobody to be even misled here. There's already no finder, and there's nothing to be found. There's just this. Even to think that there's somebody who can talk better about this, who can express, who can explain, who can give a better explanation, is just what's arising. And it's empty. There's nobody behind that. The thinking that there is somebody here who's doing anything is just what's happening. Nobody's doing it. It's not personal. It's already impersonal. Even what seems to be the sense of a doer, of being a doer, is just this already. There's nobody doing anything. Even what seems to be the thinker of thoughts is just what seems to arise in this. There's already no thinker of thoughts. The thinker of thoughts is just another thinking happening. It's already empty. There's no doer of that. You know, I was just about to get it, but now Ghost came in now. I've lost everything. It's just this already. There's nobody who's saying that. It may even say, oh, okay, keep on going, Kosi. I think I'm getting somewhere. There's no separation. Everything is this already. There's really nothing to be done. Even when a thought appears to say, oh, maybe there's something to be done. It's just what seems to be happening. It's not personal. And it's not going anywhere. But it feels like there must be something other than this. Can't be just this. That's this too. Other than this, something other than this is just this. And there's nothing to be done. And there's nothing to do about that. There's no doer already. There's nobody here to know anything, to get anything, to get somewhere, to find anything. And nobody came here. Coming here, the thought of coming here is just this already. It's just what seems to arise in this, as this. Keeping quiet, talking, thinking, getting angry, frustrated, losing hope, finding hope, blinking, heartbeats. It's just what's happening. And nobody's doing it.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, even saying it's just this is just this. There's no difference between there's just this or there's more. You cannot take just this in your hand. It doesn't mean anything. You cannot get anywhere with just this. And at the same time, it's just this. Saying there's just this is just this already. Getting whole hyped up about just this is this too.
Well, I was close to getting it, and now I'm not getting it. Now it's totally lost. So a whole hour later, and I'm worse than when I first started. Thank you.
Well, see, look, you feeling like you lost it is also just equally this.
Yeah.
And I guess feeling this way is also just this.
Yeah.
Well, Don, I'm glad to hear this report because I was starting to feel kind of bad that we were giving you hope, or that you were getting some kind of,
Oh, I fell for it. I fell for the trap.
I was worried about you for a minute.
Yeah, there's no one getting this, so don't worry. There's just this. I mean, even the thinking that there's something to get is this too.
So there's no one out there in this group that's getting it. Or boy, that's a hard one to get over here. That's a hard one to get.
Who is there to get that there's nothing to get?
Exactly, the very idea that there is something to get is just this. There's no one separate from the idea that there's something to get, or the opposite, that there's nothing to get. I mean, saying that there's nothing to get is equally just this, as is saying that there is something to get. It's already not two.
And if you got something, what would that do for you?
Well, there may be all apparent ideas about what it will do. That's it too. Thinking that you have a better life may happen. Finally, I got it. Now I will see flowers every day. Maybe it will happen. Anything, any idea or assumption when you reach the end station is this too. Or not.
I just feel so blessed to be able to to be in this kind of a conversation.
Yeah, beautiful, Don. Yeah. You know, having this sense of appreciation and finding it beautiful. It's such a beauty. And it's just what's arising. It doesn't matter, you know? Whatever is happening doesn't see you or me. It's already just this. Even when there's no me or you, you know, feeling appreciation is this too. There's no appreciator. There's just full-on appreciation. Or feeling loved. Or feeling blessed. Or feeling irritated. Whatever is happening or not happening is just falling like rain. Even the saying it is falling like rain is just simply this. So giving this a quality that it's innocently and effortlessly this, is this already. Feeling or thinking that there is no doer is already this. This is it. As is liking it or not liking it. And this may change.
Any last minute comments or questions before we close out this evening? Thank you, everybody, to each and every one of you. We so love and appreciate everyone. Sander, Nkosi, Amor, Dan, everybody, thank you so much. Have a great evening, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Have a beautiful evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.